Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Core Love. Happy New Year. So, this episode is entitled New Year, New You. I wonder how many of us have made New Year's resolutions, right? I want to lose 1,000,000 pounds. I want to quit smoking. I want to never again have a drink. I will always wake up at 5 a.m. I will always work out. Um, some things like that. So sometimes when we make those kind of resolutions. What is today? 117. They might have already been broken. And we might have, so to speak, like said, throw in the towel. And because we might have missed a day or might not have met our goal, we're done, right? And now we no longer have a desire to do that. Sometimes when we use those words, always or never, they are those extremes, right? And we place such demands on ourselves because we use those extremes. And we can't maintain those standards. Then, when we don't meet those standards, right, we feel like failures. So, first of all, I want to debunk that myth. That we are not a failure, because a failure is an event and we are not an event. So we can't be a failure. A failure is an event or an opportunity to learn something from. So I just wanted to share that first of all. So second of all, I want to share something personally. I wanted to hopefully post more videos, right? That was something I was hoping to do. That was my goal as the first of the year. I had a goal to get more videos out. This was the very first one. And today is 117. I haven't been able to do that, as I'm sure everyone has experienced. Life opportunities present different things and obstacles. But I'm here today. I'm showing up, and I want to talk to you about how we can do that as well. So, one of the things I want to share is that instead of having resolutions that look like the ones I shared before, such as extremes, right? I will always, or I will never, or I have to work out every single day, or I will lose 1,000,000,000, or I will never touch a pizza again in my life. These extremes. Make the goal, right, which is an amazing thing. Have a goal in place. And research shows and suggests, instead of making these extreme changes, when we make little changes, we are more likely to keep the changes and make and reach our goal. Reason being is because sometimes there can be fear attached to those changes that we're not aware of, right? And they don't come out, those fears don't come out until we start to make those changes. And when they're extreme, right, that can be very scary. Those changes also affect those people that we're in life with, right? So our partners, our children, our people that we work with. So it affects other people in our life. So we have to be aware that if sometimes it affects those other people, they're like, it doesn't work for me. So then all of a sudden our schedule doesn't work with their schedule, and we have obstacles that we maybe didn't plan for. So then we're no longer implementing that, right? That change. So that's another thing. So when we make little changes, if those other people are affected, it's more likely to continue to take place. The other thing is, when we make little changes, it's less of a shock for us, the person making the change, and we can see that we are making those little goals and we can check that off, right? And we feel very successful, and we can say, well, I've done this, and I feel like I've accomplished something. And so I can now make the next step, and I can make the next step. So for instance, instead of saying, I am going to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. for a person who normally woke up at 11 a.m., that can be very challenging. It might work for 2 or 3 days and then probably not going to happen again. So instead of doing that, we could say for every day, wake up 15 minutes early. So 15 minutes, and then 15 minutes on top of that, that would be 30 minutes, and then 15 minutes on top of that, 45 minutes. So gradually building upon that, so you're slowly making those changes. And you're giving yourself credit. You're focusing on, today I got up 15 minutes early. So you're feeling, you're seeing, you're achieving that success. You're feeling very successful about those changes, and you're working towards that success. So that's one thing I wanted to share. If you're focusing on weight loss, another example, right? Instead of going in and saying, I'm going to lose 500 million pounds, that can seem very daunting, very overwhelming, very hard. Like all of a sudden I got to get all this food out of the house. I can never eat out again. I can never have pizza. Maybe just saying, I will only have pizza on the weekend. Right? Or when I do have pizza, instead of having pepperoni and sausage and all of this stuff that might be greasy and unhealthy, maybe I'll order vegetables. Then go from there. Maybe I'll have pizza every other week, then to maybe once a month, and then maybe every 2 months, something like that. And when you do achieve that, mark it off. So we understand with those little goals, when you have those little goals and you achieve those little goals, we feel very satisfied, and you work more toward another goal. So I wanted to encourage you on that. The other thing is when we don't, right? Because it's always going to happen. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I want to set you up for the reality and the facts. When we don't achieve a goal, so right, when we're out with our friends, when we're out at the bar, and everybody's having wings and beer, and we're like, today is not the day I'm supposed to have wings and beer or pizza, and you have wings and beer and pizza. Then the next day you're like, screw it. I overate yesterday, so I ruined it. So what's the point of sticking to it? So give yourself grace. Have mercy for yourself. Have grace for yourself and say, okay, I screwed up yesterday. I can get right back on and restart today. Don't scrap the whole plan, throw it away, and start all over. Just start again. And the reason I say that is because if we sit there and think about a child, right, who's crawling and starting to learn to walk, if we look at them, we don't discourage them when they fall and say, never mind, what's the point? You're never going to learn to walk. Why are you going to try tomorrow? Just give it up. No, they have that encouragement, that hope, that drive. Well, I fell, so I'm going to try to get back up. I fell, so I'm going to try to get back up. So they keep trying. Well, I fell, but I'm going to try again. So I try to say, have that mindset. We don't discourage a child or a baby. So why would we discourage ourselves? So sometimes we can be our own worst enemy, or really discouraging to ourselves, or our hardest on ourselves. So sometimes I say, when that happens, just take a moment, breathe. It's okay. We're all going to have those days, and get back on and say, it's okay. I'm here again. I showed up, and I am here, and I'm ready. I'm willing. I'm trying. Okay? So, and it might not be perfect, right? Because really, are any of us perfect? Do any of us do anything perfect? No. But you're showing up and you're trying. So I wanted to share that. So work toward a goal every day. Write down your goal, and then when you do it, mark it off. Have little goals because we feel good when we have those goals achieved. So we want to focus on our positives, right? So what little changes can you make, right? Little by little by little, that we want to focus on to improve the positives about ourselves. So some things I think about is what positive things, little things could we be doing to increase the positives in our life? And what little things could we be doing less of to decrease? Let me rephrase that. So, what things could we be doing more of to make more positive in our life? And what little things could we be doing less of that we want to have that are less positive in our life? Let me say it that way. So for instance, if I would like to exercise more, maybe it would look like instead of saying I'm going to run a 5K, right? I will start with walking 5 minutes on my lunch break. But at the same time, if I say I never want to eat fast food again, let's just go back and say I just won't have pizza every day of the week. I'll just do it on Saturdays. So I hope that part makes sense. So that's one of the things I wanted to share. And the other thing is, if we make that mistake, right, focus on the positive, on what you did achieve, on what goals you did meet, not the negative. And I can't emphasize that enough, because where our mind goes, where our thoughts goes, our body, our behavior flows. I like to say that because if you really think about it, it's really true. If we start focusing on negative things, well, I didn't finish that. I didn't achieve that. Well, I overate. I didn't work out. So what's the point? Then we start getting negative. We start feeling shame. We start feeling guilt. And then it's a cycle. So what's the point? I overate. Now I'm on the phone, right? I'm ordering pizza. Now I'm having a beer, right? So it's just like we're beating ourselves up. We're feeling guilty. So then I'm just going to go ahead and have that behavior. Whereas if now I'm shifting my focus, right? And I see my little checklist and I'm like, well, I didn't walk for an hour, but I did get on the treadmill and I did walk for 5 minutes. And I did walk on my lunch for 7 minutes. That's awesome. I walked twice today. And even though I didn't get 10,000 steps in, I got 3,000 steps in. And now I want to have 3 cups of water because I only had 2 yesterday. So you're focusing more on the positive, and your body and your behavior tends to flow more towards the positive then. So I hope that part makes sense. So where our thoughts go, it tends to make our body or our behavior also go in that same direction. So positive thoughts, positive behavior. So focus on your achievements. Focus on that. So I had a couple of questions. So what in the new year could you do a little less of and a little more of to help you reach your desired goals? So that was one. And then I also wanted to share in Isaiah 43, 18, 19. It says, forget the former things. Don't ponder on the past. Stop dwelling on it. And then listen, see, I am doing a new thing. So I hope everybody gets to see the new thing being done. We're partly responsible for that. And I know God is doing his part. But I hope that we focus on the positive. And I just wanted to say Happy New Year. Happy New You. And I hope that I get to see more of you. And I hope I get to do my part by posting more videos. And I just wanted to say I look forward to seeing more of you. And I had one more thing. Let me see. It was just mostly about focusing on the positive. And I really look forward to talking with you more. And I want to reach my goal of making more videos, but I will extend grace to myself if that's not an achievable goal every day. And I hope that you guys can do that as well. So I want to say thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. And I'll close this out in prayer. Dear God, I just thank you so much for your mercy and your grace that you extend to us and teach us how to extend it to ourselves. And thank you for helping us to obtain healthy goals this year. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.